This is It Was a Thing on TV.
Spoiler number one is Dr. Lee frowns. It stinks.
What is going on? What is going on?
Episode 80.
He's already dead. He's already dead.
There you go. Episode 84.
Do it again without laughing. Control yourself.
I don't know if I can do this.
I'll do it then.
No, I'll do it. I'll do it. I'll do it.
Oh, boy.
Because the joke's going to be 20 minutes of... Episode 84. Submission 11.
He's broken. He's fucking
Nope.
broken.
Nope.
All right. Episode 84. Submission 11:58. Steve Martin.
He can't do it.
Episode 84. Submission 11.
We should all stay in the show. We should all stay in the show.
Episode 84.
3 minutes so far. 3 minutes.
Oh my god. Episode 84. The mission 11:50. Steve Martin's wins. Steve. Episode 84. Submission 11:58. Steve Martin's. Steve Martin's the win of Whoopee. Steve Martin's the wins of Whoopee. Aired on the night of February 6th, 1983 on NBC.
Is that the best we're going to do?
Do you want me to do it again? Do
If you want to try. That's all we can ask is if you want to try.
you want me to say it with a straight face? Try to straight with a straight face.
You can.
Try it as straight as you can.
As straight as you can make it, my friend.
Steve Martin's the wins of Whoopee. Steve. Steve Martin's the wins of Whoopee.
Oh my gosh.
Everybody's listening to this being like, what the hell is this? Okay, we got to explain the reason for this.
Okay, episode 84. Submission 1158. The Winds of Whoopee. The Winds of Whoopee aired on NBC on Sunday, February 6th, 1983.
Steve Martin's The Winds of Whoopee. A collection of his greatest moments on television, plus material never before seen, with special guest stars Dan Aykroyd, John Belushi, Gregory Hines, Lauren Hutton, Ron Liebman, Meredith McRae, Strother Martin, Gary Muledeer, Bill Murray, Lorraine Newman, Regis Philbin, Gilda Radner, Lynn Redgrave, Carl Reiner, and Fluffy the Wonder Dog.
So you, the home audience, may be saying, what the heck is this? How did this come about? And a number of months ago, I believe it may have been about March or April, maybe even closer to February, Greg and I were talking after recording some shows one night, and we were talking about the miniseries The Winds of War.
And for those of you who don't know, The Winds of War was an epic epic miniseries on
16
ABC.
hours.
16-hour, 8-part miniseries in February of 1983.
Yeah, it was like the event of 1983 outside of maybe the final episode of MASH.
And the
Yeah.
Thornbirds.
And the Thornbirds too, which would have been later in 1983. But this was like the first major event of 1983. And I mentioned to Greg, I said, Greg, I don't know if you know this, but I remember from my childhood, there was counter programming on the first night of Winds of War.
Because it would have been sweeps, yeah.
It would have been sweeps. So like I said, February 6th of 1983. And I said, I remember there was counter programming on NBC that first night. And it aired in the 10 o'clock hour on NBC. And it was called The Winds of Whoopee. And Greg reacted like, okay, A, what the heck is that? And then B, what the heck type of name is The Winds of Whoopee? And I didn't know details about it, so I had to dig a little deeper and get information about the Winds of Whoopee. And as I said, it aired in the third hour of the Sunday night block up against the third hour of The Winds of War, the first installment, and the last half hour of the movie Any Which Way You Can, and also an episode of The Jeffersons on CBS.
Oh, that's great counter programming. A movie with an orangutan, Clint Eastwood, and the Jeffersons.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah. Nobody was aiming high that night. They're like, okay, ABC, you win like the next week and a half. Just take our ratings points for the month of February. Because unfortunately, Any Which Way You Can and the Jeffersons, and then on NBC, The Kid with the 200 IQ and Winds of Whoopee is not going to win you anything.
By the way, The Kid with the 200 IQ, starring Gary Coleman and Robert Guillaume. That's a future entry.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, it has to be. So what the Winds of Whoopee was, that's easy to say, what the Winds of Whoopee was. It was basically an hour of Steve Martin.
Mm-hmm.
It was primarily clips of Steve Martin on Johnny Carson, other TV shows. I'm sure SNL probably showed up at some point.
Oh, yeah. I'm looking at the cast right now. You can expect SNL to show up.
And also, you had a number of special guest stars show up throughout the night. They did do some skits. Now, the whole thing, unfortunately, is not available online, just the first 20 minutes. But you don't need even 20 minutes to see how much of a bad counter-programming example this is. I mean, NBC may have done better just by airing a test pattern. It wasn't all that funny. I'm sorry. I watched the first, 15 minutes of it, and I mean, there was a segment from Johnny Carson, and there was also a segment where he, I believe he portrayed a used car salesman hooked up to a lie detector. That wasn't really all that funny. And then the opening skit was not all that funny. It's just, like I said, it was just cheap, bland TV, and it wasn't going to get any viewers because everybody was watching Winds of War.
Yeah, it was just like Steve Martin has a contract to fulfill all these NBC specials. Let's just put one on in at 10 o'clock during the first hour of Winds of War, and let's hope we get some kind of something out of it.
Yep.
And so what happened is I mentioned this to Greg, and I'm surprised that he hasn't gone back into this mode, but he was out of it. He laughed, and I'm not exaggerating. It was for probably at least 20 minutes. He couldn't believe there was actually something called...
No, I didn't. I refused to believe that was actually a real title.
Oh, yeah. I actually had to pull up the information and show him links and stuff like that. I'm like, no, this is a thing. I remember this being on in 1983, This is a real thing. And I mean, this wasn't submitted by anybody, any listeners. It was submitted by me because I remember this, and it's like, okay, this is just stupid enough to be an episode of this show. And when Greg heard about it, or specifically when Greg heard the name of it,
Oh boy, that's okay. Hey, Greg, Winds of Whoopee.
I've been trying to keep a straight face every time I says what's but I can't.
With Dan Aykroyd, John Belushi, Gregory Hines, Lauren Hutton, Ron Liebman, Meredith McRae, Strother Martin, Gary Muldeer, Bill Murray, Lorraine Newman, Regis Philbin, Gilda Radner, Lynn Redgrave, Carl Reiner, and Fluffy the Wonder Dog.
yeah, don't forget Fluffy the Wonder Dog.
I can't forget Fluffy the Wonder Dog. We love dogs on this show. Mike's a cat person, but we love dogs.
And we love Regis. We still miss you, Reg.
Mm-hmm.
So yes, the listing for that night, I have it in front of me. Steve Martin's The Winds of Whoopee. Steve Martin's wildest and craziest moments on television are featured in a comedy special composed of new material with guest star Ron Liebman and vignettes from the comedian's past TV appearances.
Which explains the star-studded night of 1,000 stars there.
Yeah, I'm sure Regis was from the Regis Philbin show back at that time. And as I said, he was on Carson. They showed Carson clips.
And obviously, John Belushi had been dead for like a year and a half at that point. Or
Yeah.
almost a year, because it was February 83.
Yeah, and also, as we mentioned, there were at least two other SNL alums, so you knew SNL would be involved. So this was just basically a showcase of Steve Martin's highlight film at that time.
This was before he became a Hollywood big shot.
This would be before he was Father of the Bride. This would be before he was one of the Three Amigos. Exactly.
Oh, because guys, Three Amigos. Come on. What else do you got to say about Three Amigos?
Right.
Three Amigos is a great movie. That's all.
I'm surprised
saying.
that hasn't been picked up for a reboot somewhere.
Or on HBO Max, since they own it.
Uh-huh.
Well, enough about Three Amigos.
Yep.
We're going back to The Winds of Whoopee.
You know, one thing I learned about the Winds of Whoopee. One thing I've learned, between 1976 and 1982, Steve Martin was the guest host on The Tonight Show 7 times. During that same period, Steve Martin appeared as a guest 36 times. So, yeah, Johnny loved him some Steve Martin.
Well, come on. I mean, it's Steve Martin.
Yep.
He was always a go-to for Johnny.
Yeah, but unfortunately, The Winds of Whoopee didn't excite the crowds.
No.
Do tell.
Well, it was going up against The Winds of War.
Obviously.
Nothing was going to beat The Winds of War.
No. Come on. You have Robert Mitchum and Peter Graves and Jan Michael Vincent. Come on. How are you going to beat that?
You can't.
Well, no, I think I got an idea. Maybe if on The Winds of Whoopee you had Tom Bray from Riptide.
Riptide wouldn't be on for another year, Mike.
I'm just trying to break you.
Oh, wait a minute. Hold up. By this point, we'll have Gene Woodsey from Riptide, Tom Bray, so you can put that in there.
Oh, no.
Oh, no.
No, I shouldn't have opened my big mouth.
He'll give us, an extra 4 seconds of material?
Yeah, 10 seconds of... Now here's 10 seconds of Greg laughing his ass off.
So, yeah. Shit, I don't know what else we're going to say about this.
Oh, I got something I got to say.
Oh, boy.
No. Oh, no.
Guys,
Uh-huh.
it's time for eBay Price is Right!
What?
What?
Oh, yeah! Okay, all right, but okay, guys, you're wondering. Wait, Greg found something on Whoopee. No,
You can't say it.
no,
No.
I didn't find anything on it, but I did find on eBay. Okay, you ready for this, guys?
I'm ready for this.
A 7-tape VHS set of the Winds of War. It's a 7-tape VHS box set. And I found it brand new. Buy it now. So you're bidding on the buy it now price on the 7 VHS tape collection box set of the Winds of War.
Okay.
Okay.
Herman Wouk's The Winds of War, I might add, because it was based on an epic book by Herman Wouk.
By Herman Wouk, yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, so Chico, I'll start the bidding with you. And it's dollars and cents.
Okay, I'm going to bet. I'm going to bid $42.69.
Nice.
Mike.
I'm going to give Chico a little room. I'll say $49.90.
You have both overbid.
Oh!
Oh!
Okay, so Chico bid again. Lower than $42.69.
$24.69.
Mike.
Still nice. Again, I'll give Chico a little room. $24.90.
You have both overbid again.
Are you kidding me?
Okay, lower than $24.69, Chico.
$9.69.
Mike.
He's still nice. Oh, screw it. $9.70.
Okay. The buy it now price on the 7-tape VHS box set of the Winds of War. $20.70.
Ooh.
I really thought it would be higher than that.
So did I.
My actual opening bid was going to be $100.
Mine was going to be $75 because here's the thing. It's an epic series on VHS. Who has those anymore?
Yeah, that's why I was going to go $100 as VHS is a defunct format.
Yeah. Well, guys, guess what? I also got another item for eBay prices right.
God.
Oh, gosh.
Oh, yeah, this just
You're killing me, Greg.
Hey, we got to get material out of this somehow. It is a Time magazine cover with Robert Mitchum's face on it from the issue of Time magazine from February 7th, 1983, and the headline on the title is ABC's Gigantic Gamble. So I will start the buy it now price with Mike.
I wish it said something about Steve Martin and NBC's Big Gamble. Time magazine's, it's only 37 years old. It's not going to be that expensive, I don't think. I will say $4.95.
Chico?
I'll say $7.20.
Buy it now price, $8.
$8.
Oh, $8. Okay.
$8.
Okay.
Not a bad price. And also, if you want to read, it has a headline up on the top right about Ronald Reagan's State of the Union with the subtitle Mending and Bending, whatever that means.
It's Ronald Reagan. It can mean a number of things.
Well, see what I did there?
Yeah. Well, it could mean that I'm mending, and it could mean that I'm bending.
Hey guys, I got a question. Do you think Ronald Reagan watched Steve Martin's The Winds of Whoopee?
I did watch Steve Martin's Winds of Whoopee only because I didn't think that the Winds of War was American enough. But I did record it, and Nancy tells me it's wonderful, so...
Well, I went to bed early that night because the next morning, me and Nancy woke up early and watched Sail of the Century, Hitman, and Just Men.
We like NBC in the White House.
I really want to. I really would like to see a picture, if it exists, of Ronald Reagan watching Just Men.
Well, that was more of Nancy's thing. Oh my gosh. What else is there to add?
We can't say anything else about Steve Martin's The Winds of Whoopee. I mean, hey guys, February 1983, NBC, they needed something to put on opposite ABC. They knew that, oh my God, America, they're gonna love 18 hours of like epic World War II stuff and Robert Mitchum and everything. And so they tried, but you know what? Steve Martin's The Winds of Whoopee. It was just a thing on TV.
And now here's Greg Diener laughing.
Well, you know what doesn't blow like the winds of Whoopee?
Our website, it was a thing on TV.com.
How'd you know?
Because you told me.
Ah. Well, there you can find all our previous episodes. You can find our socials. You can contact us. I mean, it's a hub for everything regarding our little endeavor here.
Mm-hmm.
But next week, next week, I think next week we might go similarly off the deep end.
Oh, yeah.
But we're not going to laugh for 20 minutes because it's not called The Winds of Whoopee.
No, in fact, this is like a callback to like episode 15 when we did Flying High, when we talked about the jiggle factor.
Yeah, this is. And I think that's actually where we might have found this, at least the first episode. The second episode, I think it only came to our attention in the last month or so.
Yes.
And once we heard about it, or once we saw an ad about it, we said, nope, we've got to cover this like right now. Don't care. This is top of the list. We're covering this. Again, these are two entries that are bizarre, let's say. They're both bizarre in their own right. They're both not series. They're specials, but...
Oh, they're glorious specials.
Are they special? Oh, yeah.
They're special, all right. They're really, really special.
And these are completely on YouTube. So definitely... You'll have to take a look for yourself because we're not kidding about either one of these.
Well, the first one's mostly on YouTube, but the second one's complete.
Oh, and the first one, even with just most of it on YouTube, there's enough stuff where we can talk for a little while.
You can get the gist, I'll give you one number to remember for the first special. Okay, you ready?
Mm-hmm.
20,000.
20,000.
20,000. I'm not talking about,
and that's all you're gonna say.
I'm not talking about the $20,000 pyramid, folks.
Nah, I get it. That wasn't the number I was expecting, but I get it.
He knows.
We'll have to figure out what 20,000 has in relation to this next week. Well, until then, thank you for listening, and thank you to Greg, and thank you to Chico, and I'm Mike, and we will talk to you next week on 2 more installments of It Was a Thing on TV.
Wow! Hey guys, I have a good idea.
Hey, what's that, Greg?
You know, they really should have come out in 1989 with a sequel to The Winds of Whoopee. And you know what they should have called it?
What should they have called it?
Whoopee in Remembrance.
Oh my
The War and Remembrance was the sequel to Winds of War.
Yep.
Uh-huh.
I don't think I should tell the joke to the audience, but
yeah,
there we go.